Hey kids, it is Dad. I am at David Jackson Studios with my buddy David Jackson. We're just kind of hanging out on this beautiful, beautiful day today. Is it Thursday? Thursday, Friday?
It's Thursday.
Thursday. It's just a beautiful day here at the Edison Center in beautiful Appleton, Wisconsin.
Yes, in
USA.
the flats along the Fox River.
Great little spot here. Very good spot.
That is nice.
Little paper action over there. You got the Fox's magazine over here. You got there's a tattoo place next door.
Yep.
I saw them.
Jackie and Laura work there. They're great people.
Do you have any of Jackie and Laura's work?
Right here, actually, which is it's like in the making.
In progress.
In progress.
Well,
yeah.
There's a lot of chair time.
There is, and my schedule sucks.
So there's a lot of time involved. So is it? I noticed it's mostly the black stage. Are you going to do
a little bit of shading in here? Okay. Eventually, probably just keep it black and white grayscale.
So you're not going to go for the full Kat Von D on your face? And
no
tears. No.
I don't understand why people do that. My face is all over my stuff. I can't mar up this beauty.
No, there's no reason to. There's no reason to. We're when you think about, I don't know, I personally, I struggle with the tattoo policy in the fact that I don't know if there's a decision I want to make today that will look good in 30 years.
Yeah.
That's my feeling.
Right.
I think, hey, there's a lot of people who rock it.
Right.
There's some people who go way too far. The whole Kat Von D thing, oh man.
Right. No, that's going pretty far. But like, I mean, I think, I like the tattoos, and I'll keep going with it. And it's I think the hardest thing was telling my mom.
Oh, moms. Let's guess it didn't go good.
She was cool with it.
She was
totally cool with it. She's fine with it.
How old were you when you break that?
This guy right here, like 9 months ago.
Well, that's not your first ink, is it?
No, I have just this little.
But you had that.
Just tiny little one over here.
Did you have to be in the police? Don't you have to be in the police department?
No, it's not a requirement.
All over the street. Got it.
Because it makes you look more.
Where'd you go to the academy?
Fox Valley Technical College here in Appleton.
So your formative training is here
in the Fox Valley. Yeah.
And I guess they have a great program.
Absolutely, they have a fantastic program. I was there 2.5 years. Just a little background. We'll talk about schooling for a second.
No, it's good.
I almost did not graduate from high school. I was like minutes away from making it happen. And then I graduated college on the Dean's list.
Congratulations.
Because I know that I had to work my butt off. Because when you're not at home, you know that when you're out in the real world, you gotta make things happen.
You do gotta make things
happen. You have to make things happen, otherwise I would have just been, who knows.
In high school, I have to admit, I was a real underachiever myself. I mean, I wasn't on the. I don't think I skated it under the wire,
right?
As you explained, you did. But I know that some A's, mostly B's, and a few C's, I didn't push myself too hard. It didn't work too hard.
Yeah, I didn't at all. I just didn't want to go to school. But then I hit college, and I knew that it had to happen. And then I hit this, doing this here.
Right.
I know that I just want to be the best that I can be. So it was like I went from this area of just not really caring, and just racing around and my Trans Am, and a muscle power back every day. So going from that, and not wanting to go to school to okay, I need to do decent in college to being really great in college, to going off and doing things, making things happen in my own life.
Let's talk a little bit for a second. What made you go into law enforcement? How did you make that decision?
I was 17 years old, and I was coming home from a Boy Scout meeting one night. I was an Eagle Scout at the time. Yes, I am an Eagle Scout.
Eagle Scout. Sorry. Tommy, keep getting. Yeah, Tommy's a Boy Scout and he loves it. He wants to get his Eagle just like his
awesome. I got my Eagle Scout. That's amazing that he needs to stay on him for that.
Oh yeah, we're absolutely.
It's great. either, and you know, you don't really get picked on for that. I mean, like, people are like, oh, you're an Eagle Scout. I only went up to like, blah, 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 and Cub Scouts. And like, awesome, dude. Awesome. I say go for it. It's bragging rights, you know.
I think so too. Hey.
On my way home from a Boy Scout meeting, I was doing 65 miles an hour in a 35 zone, and I got stopped by a Sheboygan County Sheriff's deputy.
Oops.
And I got a large ticket.
Oops.
And the cop was decent. I'm in my Boy Scout uniform, jamming to Metallica's "And Justice for All" on the tape deck of my parents' Ford Taurus. And I got stopped for doing 30 over.
You got pinched.
So 2 days later, I got stopped by the same cop for doing 20 over and got my second ticket in the same, 2-3 days? I call it the same week. I got my second speeding ticket in a week.
Mom and Dad were not thrilled.
Oh. No, they weren't. Not at all.
That's the whole episode of that one.
I lost my driver's license.
Okay.
For, I don't know, what was it, like 6 months or 9 months or something? And because I had accumulated so many points on my driver's license. But the cop who stopped me twice in the same week in the same car, I was probably listening to Van Halen that time. Or Ozzy. Love the battle. He was like completely professional and courteous to me, and never like lost his temper. Never like called me like, "You stupid kid." There was none of that. He was decent, and it made this. Even though like I got cracked, my dad was pissed. Can I say that?
Sure.
Okay. Even though he was upset, like, it wasn't cool. The cop made an impression on me, made an impression for law enforcement, and it just made a mark on me, and that's what I chose to do.
And so
Crazy how like a negative thing can be positive.
So let's take that a step further. When now you're pinching the high school junior, the high school senior, do you think you act differently towards them when you catch them when you were in that type of role for speeding? Did you treat them decently because of the way you were treated previously?
No, I was a jerk. No, I'm kidding. No, like, yeah, everybody, you know, like, I was never like the big, like, as a cop, I was never like a big speeding ticket writer at all. I was fair. If like I stopped someone for speeding and they're like, say they're doing 20 over, and this is gonna bog some people's minds, but like, they're doing 20 over in like a whatever zone, and they're like, yeah, I was totally speeding, I'm so sorry, I have no excuse, I was in the wrong, and do what you have to do. That kind of response makes me want to give them a warning. Excuses and BS is like, you're wasting my time, here's your ticket. You know what I mean? But I always did my job. I was always courteous to people. I was always a lot of respect. I wasn't like that macho. I didn't like that macho crowd. Anyways.
No, and you touched on something that I think is really pretty neat. When people admit they're wrong, I think they get a lot farther in life than if they try to lie. I mean, just look about some current events that have gone on.
Oh.
You know, like maybe national events, maybe a Martha Stewart event. I mean, you think about, for example, not to use her as a poster child, but I think she took, I can't prove it, but I think she spent time in the clink because she tried to hide it, not because of what was done.
Yeah,
I mean, just think about how the world would be if you had a big leader, right, wrong, or indifferent, who things are screwed up, and they said, you know what, I'm really sorry that this happened. You know, I take accountability for what's happened instead of, no, it's your fault.
Yeah, there's way too much finger pointing.
Way too much finger pointing. And that doesn't go good.
No, not at all. And I think that the biggest thing for people is like having that integrity. You know, like, having integrity and having the character that you just are who you are.
You can get to a big corporation if they were tanking and the CEO said, you know what, it's my fault. Instead of pointing out, it's the economy's fault, or it's this fault, or it's that fault. Someone took ownership.
Yeah.
There's no ownership these days and stuff.
There's nothing. Right. It's somebody else's fault. And my wife has even had that, like, and I'm not getting into specifics, but like you'll have like the parents like the child isn't doing good in school, so it's got to be the teacher's fault. It's got to be the teacher's fault.
Oh, Becky, and your wife would get on. They would just go. They would go along.
Give me a break.
Right. Is it the dentist's fault because Timmy has so many cavities?
I know.
It is not.
Yeah, a couple slips of the drill.
It is not.
No.
It is not. So, you wanted to be a law enforcement officer because of a positive impression that a law enforcement officer made in your life.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Yes.
And how long were you a police officer for?
I was in law enforcement for 14 years. The last 9 of which was spent with a local agency here in Fox Valley. Town of Grand Chute. GCPD in the easy.
So you were driving around in the interceptors.
Yes.
Nice.
I left before the Chargers. But every once in a while, my neighbor will stop by and let me sit in the front seat. It's but they're cool cars because there's like so much legroom. Yeah, like I was in the Crown Vic sometimes, and I was like this.
What do you miss? What one thing do you miss most about law enforcement?
I think I miss some of the guys, like the camaraderie and some of the good times.
The interaction.
Yeah, the interaction, and I don't miss the stress or I don't miss some of the politics and
The
it's just bologna sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't I don't miss that. And I love the law enforcement. I love being a police officer. But like I needed to make a positive change in my life because the job was consuming me. It was changing who I was at home. It was changing who I was, as a person. I was not wanting to wake up in the morning. I was not wanting to going to work was like.
You didn't love what you did.
No, I didn't, and it started to affect. I don't know if I was starting to even love myself.
Which goes
that's
back to
like
the previous one.
But honestly, that's
no. And if we can leave anything with everybody, you gotta love what you're doing. If you're not loving what you're doing, get out.
Right.
Get out.
And I also knew that making a career transition, I knew that I was taking a risk, and to this very day, if the money stops coming in next week. And I have to go into the interwebs and say, I failed everybody, I couldn't keep my business running or whatever. I'm okay with it. As crazy as that sounds, I'm not afraid of failure. I think I would have been more embarrassed to say I never tried.
Just remember, and I always love this, 2 things. Thomas Edison always said, whenever he failed at a light bulb, he would always say, that's something else that doesn't work.
Right.
Now I know it doesn't work.
Right.
And everybody's favorite WD-40, that's the 40th formula. It took them 39 failures before they got it.
That's fantastic. And you know what? There's other things, and who knows where I'll be in 10 years? Maybe I'll be shooting some great ad campaigns, or maybe I'm going to be doing something differently entirely.
So America's Next Top Model.
Yes, I will be.
You and Nigel
Beer
Barker.
growing competition.
You and Nigel Barker will be up there. Okay, kids, this is David Jackson, and I'm Dad. Peace out, guys.